Welcome everyone to the ASV experience. I'm your host ASVP, and on tonight's show we got the AEW Double or Nothing review, the recent Raw review, Undertaker Chapter 3, closing moments, and also we have some wrestling news. Now, starting off straight away, we'll get into some news that's been happening now. And Triple H has come out and he's been saying he wants WWE former champion Ronda Rousey to come back when she is ready. And we've seen recently with Ronda talking about like how she's been calling WWE fans ungrateful and all of that. But Triple H, he doesn't care about any of that. He just wants her whenever she's ready after her pregnancy and all that. He wants her to come back stronger than ever. And no matter what happens, Triple H said, WWE will always welcome Rousey back with open arms. He also said, they have a good relationship with her still. And when she's ready, they'll absolutely have her back. And then on to another segment, we have a former WWE star returning to the Impact Wrestling. And that is Deonna Purrazzo. And, she made her, return last Tuesday on Impact Wrestling on AXX TV. And, she's pretty good. She got a good pop out of it. We'll see what they do with her. Also, on to other news, we have Zack Ryder, who is filing for new post-WWE trademark. And also, we got Drew Gulak signing with WWE. Published on WrestlingNews.co. So we'll see what happens with all of that. Now, on to bigger and better things. We have the AEW Double or Nothing pay-per-view. And starting it off, we had a pre-show. We had Private Party taking on, Best Friends. Good match, just for the pre-show. They had one match. Good match. It went for about 10 minutes. We have Best Friends coming up and beating Private Party and then becoming the number one contenders for the AEW Tag Team titles. And then starting on to the main card, we have straight away off the bat Casino Ladder match. Similar to Money in the Bank, but not similar. What it is you get a casino chip. Whoever climbs the ladder gets that casino chip. Has guaranteed match whenever they want, just a match against the AEW champion. Money in the Bank Money in the Bank in WWE, you're allowed to get the briefcase, and whenever you want, you're allowed to just cash it in straight away, and whenever, wherever, and beat. But this is actually just a match they have with the casino chip. Bit different to the Money in the Bank ladder match as well, because every 2 minutes a new superstar comes out until the last one. I do like that. However, I like the Money in the Bank concept better than this casino ladder match, due to you have everyone at the same time in the ring. You get that Money in the Bank briefcase, and that briefcase gives you a contract for whenever, wherever to cash it in. This is more just you just win the match, and it's like you're just like a number one contender, to be honest. We started off with two SCU members, Scorpio Sky and Frank Kazarian. Then we had Kip Sabian, and Kip in this match, him and Darby Allin did some pretty whack stuff, jumping off some stuff, doing all these spots. I'll talk about that later. Then we had, obviously, after Kip Sabian, Darby Allin coming out, straight away gets his skateboard, goes through a ladder with it. It was pretty crazy to see. Then we had Orange Cassidy coming out, and he was so hilarious, He got him ladder in the middle of the ring. He put it sideways. He just got on it, and he just, put his arms out trying to reach the casino chip. Just how lazy he is. That's how he is. It's pretty funny. We have Colt Cabana coming out. Then we had Joey coming out. Then we had Luchasaurus, and then we had the debut of Brian Cage. And he just comes out, and he breaks the ladder in half. And those ladders, in wrestling and all that, they're like 5 kilos, whatever, 10 kilos. They're not even that heavy. And everybody knows, they're easy to break. However, once you just see Brian Cage making his debut, ripping a ladder apart, it's just a crazy pop to see. Absolutely loved it. In the midst of this match, we had some high spots. We had Kip Sabian doing crazy stuff. We had everyone chucking stuff on Brian Cage, literally putting a huge chip on him so he doesn't get up. We had Joey Janela doing a front flip with a superstar onto the chip and all that. Pretty cool to see. And Cage rises up from the dead, beats up everyone, goes up and takes the chip and wins, and now he has a guaranteed shot for the AEW Championship title, which is pretty cool to see on his debut. Then we have MJF taking on Jungle Boy, and honestly, this was such a good match. This is probably maybe I put this as the second best match on this roster for myself, just because just watching MJF and Jungle Boy, because you don't see them often wrestle. You see him often, have a little bit of, just a few, fights or this, that. They're usually on the mic, or doing skits or something like that. But watching him have a long match like this was absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy to see, There was so many spots, MJF just acting like a heel. It was amazing, At the end, we had MJF, Jungle Boy goes on him for a reverse hurricanrana off, that on top of the apron. He falls out. You just look at him. He sold it absolutely amazing. He thought he'd break his neck. He looked concussed. Jungle Boy gets him in. They have a little fight. However, MJF hits his finisher, beats Jungle Boy, and as a true heel doesn't get up, doesn't cheer. Straight away gets out of the ring and just walks to the back. And that's how a heel should be. And it was such a great match. I rate this the second best match of the actual card. Then we had for the TNT Championship match, we had Cody taking on Lance Archer. Now, I wanted more from this match. It was good. However, the thing is, the storytelling, yeah, it's amazing. But it seems like it's just, with Cody and any other opponent he has, it's not like a real 5-star match. It's always just, just one step below. I don't know what it is, but it's always just that one step below. The storyline is great, yeah? It's literally 5 out of 5. But always when he wrestles, it's like a 4 out of 5. Don't know why. I don't know if it's, if he just uses, constant, moves, or don't know what it is, but he's always just lacking that. It's just a little bit of that if factor. However, we had Mike Tyson coming out, especially at the start when, Lance brings an opponent, comes in, he brings him into the ring, he, choke slams him, and, you see Tyson's face, gobsmacked. He's like, what the hell? What did I just look at? It was absolutely hilarious. Like I said, it was a good match. However, at the end, we have Cody winning. Now, a lot of people might be saying, oh, but, Cody shouldn't have put himself over. As if he'll do that. Lance is, bigger, stronger. He had more momentum or something like that. However, if you're going to crown your first ever, championship, you need it with a babyface. And what better to do one of AEW's, prides, Cody Rhodes. So it was pretty cool. Then we had Chris Statlander taking on Penelope Ford. Average match. Chris Statlander, she did some pretty good moves in there. She's a huge, really tall girl compared to the other ones. And, she did well, with a bizarre gimmick of her being an alien. But, she beats her, which is pretty cool to see. We had Kip Sabian coming out with Penelope Ford in, crutches and, with the thing on his neck. It was absolutely funny to see. I like Kip Sabian a lot, which is pretty cool. Then we have Shawn Spears coming out in a whole suit. And he's calling out Dustin, and he's like, where are you? Are you that scared because of Cody and all of that? And, Brandy comes out, and then she tells him to turn around where Dustin is behind him. And then they start, brawling out. Dustin actually rips all of his clothes off until he's, in his underwear. You can see a bit of his, ass. Pretty funny to see. Then the match starts. Dustin gets the win. pretty good. It was good that they put a little bit of comedy in here. It's always good to break up something like this. So it was well done. Then we had Hikaru Shida taking on Nyla Rose for the, women's championship. And I don't know if they give Hikaru Shida the win just because, the tragic passing of of a New Japan Pro Wrestling star. I don't know if that's why they gave her the win, or if that's why, they, what's it called? Or if that's why that they were going for. I still thought Nyla had so much in the tank, and she could have, kept going and kept, trying to win and all that. But, what can you do? It was a solid match, it was not bad. Hikaru gets the win. She wins. And yeah, that's it for that match. Then we had the co-main event, Jon Moxley taking on Brody Lee. And, it was just pretty much an all-out brawl. And it was just crazy to see. You see Brody hitting himself. John, taking these absolute crazy bumps. I really liked the match. Moxley gets the win. And I feel like that was probably the right thing to do. Because with this, you can give John the win. Makes him look strong after a hellacious brawl. Because it wasn't really a wrestling match. It was literally an all-out brawl. So, you could you can give him the win now. Makes him look strong, and now because he's stronger, he can take on a harder opponent, which will maybe be Lance Archer coming through, or Brian Cage, and maybe Brian Cage, takes him on straight away. Brian wins, turns heel, something like that could happen. For Brody, he can just get really upset, start taking out people, maybe, get someone else in with him, make him look a bit stronger as well, because this loss doesn't prove, anything bad for him, It's not like in WWE where he lost a match and, they'll straight away send him in the back, he won't come out. This loss, even though he lost for the championship, he still looks strong because he brawled his ass out. He gets someone else in his, little stable. And yeah, and you can work off like that, which is pretty cool. Then we had the main event. We had the Inner Circle taking on the Elite and Hardy, sorry. And like, what can you say? You can just see, they did this because at Money in the Bank, WWE did their Money in the Bank ladder match, sort of like this, like it was like a little movie show. And yeah, it was not bad, to be honest. I feel like the actual, this match, even though it had some, comedic bits in it, both teams, all the competitors in this match actually look strong. Like in the Money in the Bank ladder match, no one was really looking that strong during the match, and you have Otis winning that match. But this match, you had like Hardy. You had him in like, him and also Ortiz and Santana. You had them in the water all together, putting Hardy's face down. Hardy chucking up like, former Hardy signs. You had the Matt Fax with Hardy. You had, it was just crazy. He just did like, big money, Matt and all that. It was just crazy to watch. It was really fun. You had bloody Hangman Page on a horse trying to find Sammy. You had Sammy doing absolute, just gorgeous, stunts and just moves and bumps and all that. Especially at the end with Kenny Omega giving the one wing angel off like, like off the ground, like off like the in the stadium, that like railway thing onto the grounds where there was like tables and all that, which was pretty cool to see. You had Chris doing Chris. You had one of the Young Bucks. You had them doing the Northern Light suplexes from one side of the stadium to the other side, for giving a touchdown. Absolutely crazy to see. I really enjoyed this match. At the end we have the Elite and Hardy getting the win, beating the Inner Circle, which was that was the big payoff. It was really good to watch. Then after that, we're gonna jump into, before the Raw review, we're gonna jump into Undertaker's, that little documentary that they're doing, the chapter 3 of the documentary, and it was after he beats John Cena, and it was a bit of him reminiscing about times, and it was him reminiscing about the first Shawn Michaels match, the second Shawn Michaels match, the first Triple H match, and the second Triple H match, and he goes how great those matches were, and how that just propelled him to be even more special. It made them like each other even more. He even said that match in Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania, Triple H taking on The Undertaker with special guest ref Shawn Michaels, and The Undertaker winning that match, and you had them, all three of them, hugging at the front of the entrance. He goes, he has a photo of that up on his gym. He gave that photo also to Triple H, and he gave it to Shawn Michaels, and it just solidifies their friendship. Even though they're not closest mates, they don't talk to each other every day. But even Undertaker was saying, he's like, anything those two guys want, he goes, literally, he goes, I'll be there in a heartbeat, and he goes, I'll expect the same as well. Just loved seeing that side of Undertaker, the friendship side. Just how much this business means. How much people will go far for each other for it. Loved watching that. Loved watching, how he explained how he brawled and, took everyone on. Took on, the both Shawn Michaels matches and Triple H matches. It's crazy to see. But then we went into, present day, and him teaming up with, Kane, and taking on Shawn Michaels and Triple H, Super Showdown. And, for that being one of the worst matches ever. And, he was just saying, how much, a couple of years has changed, times, and, he had so much confidence, and now he was lacking in confidence. It was all the mindset of the Undertaker, how he was feeling, how he thought, what was happening. And after that match, I love Michelle McCool when she goes, "Yep, Undertaker again. He's gonna get his ass into shape. He's gonna have a great match, and he's gonna keep going." And she's like, "It's just a circle and circle." And we're we see stuff like that. And, just can't wait for Chapter 4 now, because it's just going to tell, that ending part of what's happening with The Undertaker, what he's been doing and all that. Especially to see, with the Goldberg stuff. So, yeah. After that, we have Raw. Now, the fans are back at Raw. However, the camera work is not back. It's just, they put glass all around, where the spectators are. They put glass all around it. The thing is, when the lights are projecting and there's, smoke and there's this and there's that and there's a glare of the mirrors, it's pretty much a big clusterfuck of actually seeing what's happening and all. And it was just bad with, just on the ice for some odd reason. Don't know why, but it was really bad, especially that glare from the lights and cameras and all that. Didn't really enjoy it. However, I did enjoy that the fans are back, and I did enjoy how how they reacted and all that. And it just gives a bit of life in WWE. And AEW did this straight away from the start, and it just gave them a little bit the edge over WWE, because it just gave just you can hear something when they do a move or have a promo or just something like that. And it was, it's great to see, even though, it's written what they're going to, scream about and yell about and cheer and not cheer for, you can just see, it's all written, though. It's just great, to have something like this. And honestly, it was a good Raw. I actually rated this one pretty high compared to recent ones. It was not bad. We had, starting off the KO show, he brings out Asuka, brings out Charlotte, then Natty, then Nia. They all have a brawl. It was just, catastrophic. Pretty good, sets up a little match with them, triple threat match in the, for this future, for the, what's it called, for the future of this show. And after that, we have Apollo Crews taking on Andrade for the US title match. This is probably Apollo's best ever match in WWE, not gonna lie. And it was a great match. Andrade did well as well. Really enjoyed it. We had Apollo winning, which was pretty cool. And yeah, it was with the fans as well, just gave it that little bit of edge. Absolutely loved it. Then we had the Iconics, coming out. And, I just loved how they were portrayed this time, They weren't doing, any of that, just, them just screaming and laughing and just saying, you suck. But, they came out and they looked vicious and they were talking pretty cool as well. And, they got right to the point. They want to they want to take on Bliss and Cross, and they just want those titles back, anything. And they looked pretty mad as well. I liked how they were, positioned this way. They take out Bliss and Cross as well. Pretty good. Then after that, we have the VIP show. MVP calls out Drew. They have a little, talk exchange with each other. Bobby comes out. Drew hits MVP with a Claymore. It's pretty funny. During this, we have, MVP saying, taking that Claymore kick, and, Drew goes, he's like, it's just called Claymore. We all know it's a kick. It was just something like stuff like that. It was pretty funny. Still Drew's having a good time. Drew's still getting himself over, which is pretty good. Really enjoyed that. After that, we had Garza taking on, KO. However, at the start of the match, when KO was coming out, Garza gets a ladder, hits his, knees with it and all that, tries to take him out. During the match, KO is pretty injured. He's limping on that one leg. Garza gets the win. That was very good. Good storytelling. Absolutely liked it. It's going to position our KO to, feud with them. Then we had Aleister Black and Carrillo taking on, Theory and Murphy for Rey Mysterio, And it was pretty cool, to watch, this match. Austin and Murphy gets the win, which was pretty predictable. We had, at the end, they put, Carrillo's face next to the steel steps. They were telling, Aleister to step back, nothing good will happen, They don't understand that, Rey was just a sacrifice for, Seth and all that. It has nothing to do with them. They were just saying stuff like that. And after that, we got next week on Raw, we got Rey Mysterio's retirement ceremony. And it's hosted by Seth Rollins as well. Now, Rey Mysterio's contract's due to be, ending in September. So there are still a few months before that happens. But, with recent, releases and all that, they might just do it earlier, just get him to just release him and all that. He's 45 years old, so maybe they, just want to do like a retirement for him, something memorable, so, he can go out. However, he is 45 and Rey looks like in phenomenal shape. And if anything, maybe they just want to, let him go for now, and then he comes back in like a year or two, or maybe he'll, they'll take him away and he'll be just backstage and all that, maybe getting his son through. However, I don't think that's going to be the last of Mysterio, and I don't think he will be retiring, and I think he might play it out to the end of his contract and see if he's going to sign on again, because where else is he going to go? He's done it all, and I feel like he should be sticking with WWE. Then after that, we have the triple threat for the number one contender for the Raw Women's title. We had Nia taking on Natty, taking on Charlotte Flair. And, pretty good match. We had Charlotte Flair at the end, putting Natty in a figure eight. Then Nia taking out Charlotte. Then, hitting her move on Natty, and Nia gets the pin. So we have Nia taking on Asuka. And every time we've seen Nia take on Asuka, Asuka always gets injured. So I don't know. I want to see what's going to happen for that. Hopefully it turns out to be a good match. And then the main event, we have Street Profits taking on Bobby Lashley and MVP. Bobby gets his team DQ'd, with the full nail, so not letting go. And then we have straight away Drew McIntyre coming out, and they have a brawl. And it wasn't just a standard brawl. Drew kicks him with a Claymore. Bobby, MVP, go out and that's how they end it. No, we have Bobby and Drew, brawling and brawling until all these other members start coming out and, putting them away and holding them, at the ring post. And you know what? That made Bobby look strong. It made Drew look strong, and absolutely love that. It was great positioning. Good way to end Raw. Pretty decent Raw as well. So yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.